Hey there, YouTube friends. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just showing you right now, this is a guide to planting and harvesting in the Southern Appalachians. And you can see there's like that heavy dash thing, and that's talking about recommended planting dates, and that goes through the whole year. Behind that is my specific chart for my seed starting plan for the spring, and at the top it says April 27th, and that is based on my potential last frost. Now there have been frosts later than that, and the weather patterns are changing. We're seeing a lot of dramatic weather swings, and I believe we're actually heading into a colder climate rather than a warmer one, but that's besides the point. This chart is specific to me, and the way I set this up is I went to the North Carolina Extension Office and I found the one closest to me, and I asked for, on their site, I looked for first and last frost dates. So April 27th and October 10th are for my locale, and as I said, I can have a frost later than this, and I could have a frost earlier than October 10th, and it has happened. So this is a general guide. On the far left of the chart are the list of crops. Then the next chart is when for the date for me to start my seeds indoors based on my specific frost dates. Then it says how many weeks from sowing, how long does it take the plants to be ready that I could be transplanting them out to the garden. Then the next one is when is it actually safe before or after the frost date to put them in the garden, and then I fill in the last column based on that for my quote set out date. There are a couple plants that are missing off of this chart. One of them is garlic. Earlier I posted a thing about the garlic in my garden right now. It's been in the ground since October 24th. It's its own special thing, and I will be posting more videos about it because it's really cool and it's a great medicinal and it's so awesome in cooking. So anyway, couple other things that are missing on here. One of them is beans, and I wrote that in down at the bottom. And beans are kind of they're a special thing because I do succession plantings of the bush beans. I do one planting of the pole beans because it takes time. I'm setting up a trellis. Normally I use bamboo poles and create sort of like a bamboo pole teepee and let the beans grow on that. This year I'm going to try something completely different. I found a great trellis on another person's channel, and I'm going to share that with you when I do it. I just think it's really cool, and I think it's going to work out well, and it will help me and hopefully help other folks get a better support system for their pole beans. Anyway, the beans that are the bush beans, they get sown every 2 weeks, so I have continuous supply of beans coming in through the summer. And then you can see down on the bottom it says until August 15th, and that's so that last sowing of beans has enough time to produce and come to harvest before my potential frost of October 10th. So this chart, if you go on your extension office and you find your first and last frost dates specific to your area, using this chart or any other chart that you might find online, and I am sorry, I looked everywhere to see if I could find this again. I had it saved on my Pinterest account, and it looked like it came from a Rodale Better Homes and Gardens site, but I couldn't find it on Rodale, and I couldn't find it on Better Homes and Gardens, so I only have it saved on my Pinterest page. Maybe you'll have better luck. Anyway, the thing is, if you set up your calendar now, you're gonna have a schedule that you can have a basic logistic going forward for how you're gonna start your seeds, when you're gonna start the seeds, approximately when they're gonna be ready to go out in the garden. You can adjust it by what you're seeing in the weather. Most of the weather channels now give you a broader amount of time. You can see a month ahead, and if it looks like, oh my gosh, it's really warming up, we can get these things moving along faster, or we've got a big cold snap coming. I can slow this down. So that's important information to stay. This is a plan, but we may not follow it exactly. Now, when you're looking in your catalogs, and so this is Territorial Seed Company. Let me just open that. Let's see if I can just zoom in here. Oop, no, the pages are flipping. Sorry. Get back there. Okay. When you're looking at the actual catalog, you're going to see it says 65 days. This one says 75 days. Those dates are how long it's going to take before you're going to get a harvest out of those plants. So with our growing season being rather strange because of the weather, I'm looking for varieties that come in a little bit earlier. You can see down there in the bottom right, Millennium, it could take up to 80 days. Now, I might have some super long time, it needs to be in the ground for a long time for harvest, and they might be some of my most favorite ones. And I'm going to continue to grow them because I love them. And I'm also going to experiment with some of the ones that take a little less time to come to harvest. So that's just another thing to think about. The other thing that's missing off this chart are plants to protect and encourage pollinators, and that is going to be super important going forward. Our pollinators and insects in general are really under attack. There's so many sprays and chemicals that major agricultural places use. It's for sale. A lot of people just get them without thinking, oh, we got these bugs, we want to get rid of them. But it's destroying the web of insects. And when I was growing up, and we go to the gas station sometimes, not to pump gas for the car, but just to wash the window off, because there would be so many bugs splattered on the windshield. And that's not happening very much anymore. And people will say, oh, the windshields are aerodynamic. Well, that may be true, but our insect population has really been decreased. So I'll be posting videos. I've built pollinator gardens for people, and I can put some videos together, show you some tricks and things that I do to encourage insects in my yard. They're super important. Without them, we don't get pollination. Without them, we don't attract birds to the garden. The birds also eat the insects that eat our garden, so you want to have a mix of insects enough to attract the birds, to get the ones you don't want without having to use chemicals. Because really, who wants to eat the food sprayed with chemicals anyway? The whole reason we're doing this is to eat and grow as healthy a food as possible. You may be noticing on the far left over here, there's little numbers in circles, and that's just my sequence. So like down here, parsley is number 1, onions are number 2, collards are number 3, and that's just so I can keep up with, this is the first thing I'm going to sow, second, etc. I really hope this is helpful. I'm sorry, I try to keep my videos to around 5 minutes. This one's getting closer to 9. So thanks for joining me. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer questions. I've got some years doing this, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you all. And we're gonna grow great, wonderful gardens this year, and we're helping each other out by all the videos that we're posting and sharing. So thanks for joining me in this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.